on, baby, answer. All right, let me comp this property real quick. Can't spend too much time comping it, but it is harder to comp in Texas.
Hello.
Hey, Ngozi, what's going on? I had another call when you called me back.
Okay.
How's it going today? Did you and your wife talk it over?
Yeah, that we'll not go for that price.
Okay. So where is your bottom line price? So we can get you back home.
We're looking around 290.
290? You said 290,000? Hey, Ngozi.
Hello.
Hey, Ngozi. So yeah,
Yes.
you said you were looking for 290,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you talked to any realtors about getting with them? Cause,
No.
cause if you're asking for 290,000, that's pretty much a retail offer, and you're best off probably taking it on the market with that with the realtor, but you're gonna have to pay the closing cost and all the commissions. I mean, when we were saying our offer, that was gonna be cash offer, quick closing, no commissions, no closing costs paid
But
by
not,
you. We would pay the closing
but
cost.
not in lower 200. That's too no.
Okay, what if, I
No.
mean,
But yeah.
we might be able to come up to 225, 230. Um, but I mean, we still got to make sure on our end that we're able to be able to pay our crews when we come in and do a few repairs and stuff like that. Um, but so what's your bottom number that you need in order to move and get your transition back to Nigeria?
Don't worry about that. That's my own business. I'll take care of it. It's not that or the main reason of that. That's okay.
Okay.
So you've given me offer. It's not good. So thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. I hope everything goes all right in Gozi. I mean, what if we were able to come up to about 225, 230?
No, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
Ngozi.
sir.
Well, I hope everything goes well. Safe
Thank
travels
you.
back home, and
Thank you.
hope you get what you're looking for.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
All right, have a good day. People are delusional. to the next one. These people want some high number.
can come to the phone, right?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Alfredo. We're sorry, you have reached a number that has been sorry, you have reached a number that is...
Hello.
Hey, Saj, this is Jake.
Jake.
Yeah, you talked to my partner Sam a few months ago. You talked to him about potentially being interested in selling your property on Long Reach Drive.
It's already sold, Jake.
Okay, you sold it. You already closed on it and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Were there any other properties you were thinking about selling?
No, actually.
Okay. All right, Saj. Well, I appreciate your
Thank you.
time, sir. You have a great day.
Yeah. Hello, this is Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, this is Jake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you talked to my partner Sam about a week, 2 or 3 weeks ago about potentially selling your property on Park Drive.
Yes.
You still interested in selling that?
Yes, 1524 Park Drive in Challengeville.
Come back on that.
Hello? Yes, 1524 Park Drive in Challengeville.
I can't hear you.
Yes, 1524 Park Drive in Challengeville.
Yeah, 1524 Park Drive, Channelview, Texas.
Yes, what was your question?
Yeah, we were just wanting to see if you're still interested in selling it.
Yes, I have it for sale. It's I don't know if you have any questions on it, but it's a 3,000 square foot plus house, 5 bedrooms, 3 full baths. It's right now it's inside the interior done. Just on 3 lots, almost 3 acres of land. It's got 300 feet waterfront on a lake, part of the San Jacinto River, but it's called the Bear Lake.
Yeah, I see it's on the lake. Did you say this is listed on the market?
I have it up for sale by owner.
Oh, for sale by owner.
.com, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got a few notes on it, but I just wanted to follow up with you and see how it was going. It looks like you're asking for around 900,000 for it. Let's see. Looks like it does need a little bit of work. But I mean,
Yeah, like right now, just flat value for the property. If I was just to subdivide it and like replat it, I could probably sell each lot for around 150, 75. because they're waterfront and there's no, unrestricted acreage in that area.
Okay.
So yeah, but if you're interested, let me know if you want to see it. I'll go and show it to you. You want to make an offer? We're taking offers. We're not dead on that particular asking price.
Okay. Do you have pictures on it on your for sale by owner listing?
Yeah, it'll be on there for sale. But I'm driving, so I don't have the actual ID. But I think if you go on that site and you click the address or put Calamity, Texas, it'll give you the pictures and so forth.
Yeah, I'm pulling the pictures up right now. Yeah, I mean this definitely looks like a great opportunity for us. Yeah, I know you talked to my partner Sam a few weeks ago, and let's see, I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. Yeah, definitely looks like it's gonna need some landscaping on the exterior.
Yeah, no, like the landscape and all that, I'll take care of it. That's the least of my worries. I pay somebody a couple of $1,000 to clear the land for me.
Okay. Yeah, that didn't
Yeah,
happen.
I know. It's just overgrown. I've been out of the country for a while, so I haven't paid much attention to the exterior of it.
Okay, I got you. Where you been traveling to?
It's South America.
Okay, gotcha. I'd like to go down there one day.
Yeah, but it's available if you want to. If you want to go tour it, we'll show it to you. But it's writing on potential basically, and right there it's unrestricted. So you want to use it as a business or as a
Maybe
retirement community. There's no restrictions there, so you're not zoned to anything.
okay. It looks like it's got about what 4 or 5 acres on the lot.
No, it's almost 3 acres. It's
Okay.
got 3 lots, and each lot's about an acre of land. A little bit under 3 acres.
Okay. Yeah, it says 139,000 square feet. My calculations were off, so about 3 acres.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see any interior pictures. I just saw exterior pictures. So how is the interior?
So it's done. It needs to be redone on the interior.
Okay. Would it
And
be?
it's not a VA or FHA ready. It's for somebody that wants to tear it down and build a new house or remodel the interior of the other one. But it's up to the studs.
Okay, so it's already down to the studs, and it'd pretty much be a full gut tear down. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not a tear down. I had a new roof put in like maybe 10, 12 years ago. And then I had the foundation. I had some 61 piers put in. So I did a lot of structural stuff to the property. We have other properties. So we bought it as a second home, but we never moved in.
Okay. And let's see. I got you. Well, Jerry, I appreciate your time. Let me kind of run some numbers and see what we could do on our end, and then I can get back with you. Probably on Monday if that works with you.
Yeah, that's fine. If you can't reach me, text me and just say, I talked to you on Friday. That way I get calls all the time on this property and other stuff that we deal. So
yeah, I see where you got a few other properties. So, but yeah, I appreciate your time. This definitely seems like a great opportunity, and yeah, let me run some numbers on our end and run it to our underwriting team, and we can get back with you here beginning of next week.
You got it, sir. Appreciate the call.
Yep, Jerry. You have a great day.
Bye-bye. It's a huge giant. Hello?
Hey, Mark, this is Jake.
Besides more image release, let me cut this thing down here. From Juno's microwave radiolometer, instruments that can penetrate your workers' pickup. Hang on a second. Sorry. Down there. There could be relatively warmer regions harboring cavities full. There we go. Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Mark, this is Jake. We were just following back up with you about a property you expressed interest in selling on Sunset Drive in Palms, California.
And 29 Palms.
Yeah, 29 Palms.
Yeah. I still have it. The only problem is, I think the only buyer that it's going to make sense to is somebody that wants to move in, because investors need to buy something cheap enough that they can fix up and make a profit on. And I'm kind of in that business myself.
Yeah. We have a few notes on there. It says you got about 10 other properties and looking to let this one go. Yeah, so you're definitely not going to waste your time on a cash offer because you already know the deal on that. Sam did put in here some notes that you would be interested in some seller finance.
Well, I'm open to anything that makes sense. Anything that I don't need the money.
Yeah.
And so, but the one thing I don't have is a lot of time. I'm 70. I'll be 76 in a couple months. So, a 30-year note with no balloon or anything else, I can't. I won't be able to use it because I'm not going to be here 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely hear that. I mean, they say 100's the new 50, though, right?
That's right. Let's hope.
But yeah, I mean, we obviously, I mean, on a terms offer, I mean, we usually like to. I mean, it's a different approach, really. I mean, as long as we can get a tenant in there and cash flow it, I mean, we're pretty flexible on the terms. So I mean, it's really kind of what terms are you looking for, Mark, and kind of what's going to set you up best to live the life you want to live.
Right. I haven't thought about it too much. It's I didn't pay much money for it. I bought that and I bought the lot right beside it. So I've got two lots right together. If I were in my 30s, I'd buy it myself and I'd keep it. I'd put it in my portfolio and keep it forever. Pass it on to kids. It's that good of a deal potentially. And I paid $40,000 for both lots. That's it. But what's happened in that area, the house right next door, or next to the empty lot, sold for $300 and something. The house next to that is for sale for $375. I only paid $33 and $7 for the thing. So you can see it's gone up almost 8-10 times what I paid for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And other houses in that area, it's still, when you're looking at it, comparing it to other properties in the upper desert. I don't know if you're from up there, but from Morongo Valley, Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree, and then 29 Palms. When you look at all of those, 29 Palms is still one of the best values for the money because it hasn't gone up as fast as Joshua Tree and Yucca. It's still at the lower, of the other properties. It's the least valued, but I think it has the most potential for many different reasons. And so for somebody that's going to keep it for 10, 20, 30 years, you can't lose. I mean, I can rent it even at full price, a loan borrowed on it. I think I can rent it and have at least a break even. And so, somebody investing in it with the small down payment, basically, because of the rental potential of the military base, I know the guy right across the street. They're getting ready to raise the rent to $1,500. The owners, and so there are a lot of reasons, but I don't know. Somebody with some money, somebody. I don't know. I don't know if I told your guys this, but the next block over, somebody bought that house for $50,000. I was going to buy it. I said, I'm going to buy another house up there, and I'm going to move in. I'm going to live up there because I can see the potential. That was about 8-10 years ago. Yeah. That house for $50,000, the guy bought it. It was a double lot too. He took that house and doubled the square footage. And it's for sale now for $450,000. I can see the house from my house. It's not that far away. Mm-hmm. So somebody with that type of insight, he did it himself, though. I think he had a tractor, and he basically did a lot of the work himself. So he saved on the cost of doing that. But that's a big profit. 50,000 to 400. He added to 495,000. That's 10 times. And when you're talking about it's crazy. And so I think the same potential is here because I have two lots, and I've seen what's happened in the last 10 years there. Now, what I would sell even more at a less of a discount, I have an acre and a quarter up there. I'd sell that probably quicker. I have 5 acres and a homestead cabin in Joshua Tree. I'd probably sell that before, not being as because it is a little bit more work. You have to put a well in, but I've got electricity. So, but that 29 Palms one has got potential for me to even move in.
I got you. So are you looking to? So what's going on with it right now? Is it vacant, or is it got a tenant in there?
It's been empty for 10 years. I bought it to store stuff in because I was paying $400 a month, $400 or $500 a month for storage fees. So I said, I'll buy this house to put stuff in.
Interesting concept there.
Yeah, and I made money because I was living in Palm Springs, and I was paying almost $400 or $500 a month in storage fees at a storage unit. I was selling stuff at the swap meet, collectible stuff, books, all kinds of stuff, and I said, I don't want to pay that kind of money. And a friend of mine said, there's a house up here for sale, cheap. And so I went to look at it. There are 8 bidders on it. The guy was a flipper, just like your company, I think is. He bought the house to fix it up, but it was just a one-man show, and he was doing it himself. The bank, he owed the bank $70,000. They basically sold it to me for $33,000, and he had already fixed up most of it. Put new carpeting, new ceiling, new bunch of stuff, a new shower, and so he was doing it, but he ran out of money. And so when I took it over, if I had borrowed the money, I just happened to have had the cash, but if I had borrowed the money, my payment would have been $125. $125, and I was already paying $450 or something like that in storage fees. I said, I'm going to buy this, even if I have to, make payments. I'm going to save $300 a month in storage fees. Well, I paid cash, and I saved even more. So I saved money to buy that house.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think would be the best purpose for it now? I mean, I know they got a lot
But
of short-term rentals going on out there in that area, right?
yeah, they do. I think the best thing, if I were in my 30s and I was investing, uh, I I think with it's a little bit smaller than the house across the street, but I would buy it as a long term in my portfolio because it would break even from day one, and maybe even make a cash flow depending on how how much work you do on it, and uh, that's I would buy it for that. In fact, if I have some rental houses in another state, but I have a property manager that manages them. And if I had been smart enough 10 years ago, I should have sold the properties I have back east and bought 10 houses in 29 Palms, paid cash for them because they were only $50,000, and I could have gotten $500,000 by selling my other properties. And if I had 10 of them today, any house that's at least any house that's halfway decent up there is going to get at least $1,000 a month rent, and some of them will get $1,500 a month rent today. Some of the real small need a lot of work way out in the area where there aren't any other houses. You might get less. Maybe $800, but that's somewhere where there's no water, something like that. But if I got $1,000 a month and I had 10 of them, that's $100,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're paid for. That's $1 million too every year. If I'd have been smarter, that's what I would have done. Should have done, but I've been a very conservative buyer. Everything I bought, the houses I bought in Virginia, I paid them all off. The way I did, I looked at them. I said, okay, I am buying this. I'm going to buy this house, but the tenants are going to pay for it. And that's the way I looked at it. I said, I'm not trying to sell it quick. I don't care if I pay for it in 10 years or in 30 years. I took 30-year mortgages out. I said, the tenants are going to pay for it. Along the way, I'm going to start having a little positive cash flow. In 30 years, everything's paid for. I live on the rent income. And that's what I did. I'm very conservative in that sense. Didn't make a lot of money. Didn't have a whole lot of extra money to do it. But that's what today, I've got more money and I've got other properties. I would have paid cash for them. And but that property has the potential because it's solid brick. It's one of the earlier houses built in that subdivision. It's a subdivision called the Hanson Tract, and it's up high. That's the biggest advantage I can see. I've lived in many different areas, and generally the houses that are up in the hills overlooking the town are the ones in the long run go up in value much more. Even if it's a smaller house, if you've got a good view and you're up high and you're away from the center of town, and that's what this is. This one is only maybe 5 or 10 streets higher than me, and then there are no more streets. Then it's the entrance to the monument, the national monument up there. It goes between Joshua Tree and 29 Palms. Up there where tourists and worldwide people come in to mountain climb and stuff like that. It's the entrance to the monument, and the casino is over there. I can see the casino from my house. I can see the entire Marine base from my house down below. I can see the high school team when they play football. I can see the lights, which is about 5 or 8 miles away. I can see the lights down below, and that's like living on Mulholland Drive, 200 years ago.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So that's what's going to happen. If I live long enough, I would buy it. I would buy it, but it would be an investment for me. To make money today, if you're going to try to make money in 6 months, you're going to have to get it at a cheaper price than I'm selling it for. That's the problem. I'm telling everybody I want 300,000, and 300,000 at today's 5% interest rate. You know, if you're going to borrow the money, if I pay for, you know, if I finance it, I would ask for a little bit of interest too. I may not go 5%. I may go 3-4%, but I got to make some money, and at that rate. You're not going to make a whole lot of profit. You're not going to be able to sell it at a profit real quick. And it's just not a good house at the price I want.
So have you been talking to realtors and trying to maybe list this on the market or for sale by owner, or what's up with that?
I haven't done anything.
Okay, you still got it as a storage facility.
Yeah, it's still, yeah. I have not tried to sell it other than people calling me.
Okay.
And I get 500 calls, 1,000 calls since I've owned it. People calling it to buy, and it's not because. And I'm not, you know, the only thing I've done I just picked the number out of the sky. I said I'm not going to sell it until I can get at least 300,000, which is basically 10 times what I paid for it. And I said, you know, if it takes 5 years, I'll take 5 years. I don't need the money. You know, I only have $30,000-$40,000 invested in both properties there. That's it. And I pay taxes, and the taxes are nothing. I think it's $400 a month or something, or $600 a year. I mean, and I don't even have insurance on it. I don't care if it burns down. I'm still going to make money on the land.
So do you need that? You pretty much still need this as a storage facility, right? That's your need for it, right? So you really don't have a need to sell because you're using it as a storage facility, right?
That's right. Yeah, the storage facility. What I would do if somebody came in and said, "Here's $300,000. Here, take it, and I'll take the house." What I would do, I'd get a rental place. I have a house here, or I'd put I would do something else. I've already reduced some of the storage up there. What I have up there now is like I have 40 commercial style shelving units, because I had at one point I had about 60,000 record albums, and I had them all on these metal storage shelves. And so I bought a bunch of shelves to store them on, and I ultimately sold all the records, but I still have the shelves. So I have all those shelves up there. I have maybe 10-20,000 books. I have about 1,000 tennis rackets. I have other type of books. Let's see what else. Toys. I have McDonald toys. You know, stuff that nobody else is going to steal. Who's going to steal McDonald toys? Well, I got 10-20,000 of them.
You might got plenty of what do you call them? Antiques in there, huh?
I don't have too many antiques. I was burglarized one time, and so after that time, I've got the doors locked so nobody can get in. If they get in, it'll take them about an hour to get into the place. I've got it set up in a way that somebody and my neighbors know that I don't live there, so they could call the police. It's going to take them a while. So, but the expensive stuff, the mid-century modern collectible stuff, because I lived in Palm Springs, you know, where all that mid-century modern stuff was kicking in. I took all that out because if I got burglarized again, I already lost a bunch of stuff, and I didn't want to do it again. So it's not as much stuff anymore. But it's a nice enough house without any real money. I don't have to pay much money to maintain it. I would move up there, except for I've got a vision problem, and I may not be driving in a year or two. And if I'm up there, I've settled up there. I don't know anybody really that's up there, and you know, it's kind of out of the way a little bit, and I don't have other family members or anybody else that could take care of me if I needed some help. And so that's the reason I'm not up there. But if I find a 20-year-old girl or 25, 30-year-old lady, and she wants to take care of me, I'll move up there.
Okay. Well, Mark, I appreciate your time and your insight on your successful investing career. We can follow up with you again in the future. But yeah, it looks like you're not looking to sell this one right now. I mean, you have no need, and you got it as a storage facility. But we can follow up with you again in the future. And Sam's also got here in the notes that you might be interested in buying some stuff in the SoCal area.
Not really. I'm not. I have enough income coming in from my rent, Social Security. I'm set up to where I'm a single guy, and so I don't need any more money to live. I live fine, and I don't need a fancy car. I don't need a fancy house. I'm a single guy. I'm comfortable. I'm never going to run out of money for food. I've got the VA medical. I got Medicare, so I'm set up. So I don't need the money to make more investments. If I were younger, yeah, I'd be looking for some good deal. But I had a broker's license once. I had a sales license and a real estate broker's license at one point. So I understand how to do most of that stuff myself. But at this age, I'm not. The only reason I would sell it is if I get the price I want now, the 300, and I think you're going to be shocked if you call me in a year or two. If you start looking at houses in that section, just in that section, because prices vary depending on where they are. Just like any town, some areas are more expensive than others. This section, and this has been way down for years. 29 Palms is not a big investment place, not an expensive area. And things are changing. The city got a $40 million investment package for a downtown convention center. They have a casino. They have that coffee, not In-N-Out coffee, but so a lot of things are happening. And I think with computers and people working away from home, away from the business, they can work there. There's one guy I know up there that works in Oakland, California, 400 miles away. And I talked to him one day, and he said, yeah, I go up there once a month for a week, and then I come home in 29 Palms, and I do everything on the computer. Yeah. And so that is, with this COVID thing, there are lots of people now that don't want to go back into the office if they can do their work at home. And so they're willing, they now can move into cheaper housing and where they have more land and more, a better deal for them and still have a good job. And that's what I think is it's going to happen in the next 10, 20 years. Everybody's going to be working right off the computer. You can be a salesman. You can do anything.
Yeah, we live
and
in a virtual world.
If you look at the prices, I think in the next 1, 2, 3 years, the average price in that area that my house is in is going to be $400,000. The reason I say that with some expertise, some knowledge, is because my house in Palm Springs, when I bought it for $75,000, I paid $70,000 for it. In 30 years, when I sold it for $400,000. Today, it's worth $1.3 million. So I never thought it would go up that much. I wish I hadn't sold it now, but that's what's going to happen up in 29 Palms, especially in the nicer areas. And it's going to be new buildings, new houses being built. It's just going to take time. Sometimes it takes longer than you think. But I think you're going to be surprised if you're a young guy and you look back in 5-10 years and you say, man, I could have bought a house up there for $300,000. They're $800,000 today.
Yeah, well, we can run some numbers and see. You might be right, but like you mentioned earlier, I mean, we do typically like to come in and get properties that need a little bit of love and fixing up.
Yep.
But
I understand that. I think that's a fantastic business. But you got to find the buyer. You got to match up the guy that needs to sell, and the price. You got to figure out how much can I sell it for when it's fixed, and you got to make a profit. That's your business.
exactly, yeah. Well, I truly do appreciate your time, Mark. I'll still run some numbers on this one and see kind of how the appreciation's going, and we can follow up with you here soon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always willing to talk. I'm over 75 years old now. Hell, that's all I can do now.
Yeah, well, you gave me some good insight, and I appreciate that. But yeah, I'll let you get back to your show. I know I interrupted you in a movie or something.
Yeah, that's all right. No problem.
All right, Mark.
Thanks.
I appreciate your time. We'll follow up soon.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Yo, what's up, John? I'm trying to make some calls, man. How's it going with you?
I hear ya. Not too bad, man. I was making a little bit of calls earlier. I was cold calling the Harris County list.
Yeah. I called some of that earlier, and I'm doing a few Podio follow-ups. I had one guy I gave the verbal offer to yesterday, and for 220, and then this guy wants like 290, and the ARV is like 320. So
Yeah, is that Ngozi?
yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Just keep knocking him down, man. He's got to move, right? He wants to go back to Nigeria.
Yeah, he does. So I think I'm gonna have to follow with him. I'll probably give him next week off, and then follow up with him
Yeah.
about 10 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's definitely motivated, because when I first talked to him, he's like, "I need the money." And then the call yesterday, he's like, "Well, I got to go back to Nigeria."
What's the house worth?
ARV is about 320 through 25.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a deal. Depending on how much work is needed. Did you see some pictures?
No, I didn't get any pictures from him. It's pretty hard to understand the guy. But I mean, I think it's got probably about 15, 20 worth in repairs. It's kind of hard to get condition out of them, but I did get some motivation out of them.
That's good. Did you get a chance to connect with Sam today, or did he just not reply?
Yeah, I ended up just texting him like after 30 minutes, and I was like, "Are we still gonna meet?" And he's like, he said he hadn't heard from Aaron, and he's just like, "I'll just send you a Zoom link." I figured he'd talk with you or something, because he just sent it to me. But we just had a quick meeting, and I just kind of went over kind of the game plan with Ngozi, and he was kind of showing me like pulling lists, like some ideas for pulling lists. So that's basically what we went over. And he mentioned he might be getting another VA here soon. Some girl from Nicaragua that speaks Spanish.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that was about it. It was a quick call today, but
I wasn't sure what was going on. I kept on checking the Slack.
Well, yeah, that's why I just ended up texting him.
Yeah.
And he said he hadn't heard from Aaron,
Well, it's Friday.
And then he just sent me the link, so I figured he had heard from you or something. But yeah, we got a quick meeting, me and Sam, but it wasn't Aaron.
I was actually calling you to see, are you a part of Dustin's software launch, the unapologetic results?
That CRM?
Yeah.
Nah. I didn't really know much about it, and I mean, I really feel like I don't really need it that bad right now. I mean, I just got set up with Sam and his Podio, and I'm not. I mean, I'm sure it's probably pretty good, but it's like I don't really need to be too involved in that right now. I feel. I mean, I need to just focus on just making these calls right now.
Yeah, that's a good thing, bro, because I'm like set up with this shit, and it's like just trying to get it figured out to the point where I can use it is like a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Definitely gonna try and focus on the leads he's got right now. And I mean, he's definitely trying to grow his business, and I know he's got. He works at like Costco too.
Yeah.
What are his hours?
I'm not sure swing, bro. Like, just from the conversation, because like, you know, I'm first, I gotta go find 9 to 5, and I'm about 2 o'clock, last time I heard him say that. So I think he works like straight from 2 to 10 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll sit with it.
Yeah, well, I know he's busy. But yeah, he gets like 2 more PAs, and they really start hammering the cold calls. That'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't really mind cold calling right now.
Yeah, right. Just getting good on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, so like, it's
Plus, like some of these leads are a little like they've been hammered so hard. It's like they got like page long notes. Like some of them, like I don't even want to call because it's like I'm so into the dark. I feel like I would just mess things up.
yeah.
Because there was one guy that was like, man, talk to Sam and get out of it. Be like, I can't do this.
Oh, shit.
But that really wasn't much of a deal. He was wanting like 60 grand down on like a higher deal, and he still.
Did you go back from
Yeah, I wanted the Texas needs.
yeah, and there's not a whole bunch in there, you know, I feel like there's just most of the people.
Yeah, because gotta generate some leads, but I mean, if you're in there cold calling, you can probably get one every hour or two.
How was it? When you're a client, also, how was that going for you? Like for you?
Like overall, or what?
Yeah, like are you having conversations?
I mean, I haven't got it. I've put in probably like, I've probably done about 3 to 4 hours of cold calling the past 2 days. Yeah, I put in about 6 leads, but none of them are really strong. A lot of them are like Hispanic people. Starting to
I know, and I noticed that I speak Spanish, you know, so it's like, okay, I can kind of transition to that.
I'm about to ask you, I was like, maybe that's me from Paris, so.
Yeah, man, I speak Spanish, so if you get somebody that wants to sell, but you can't read it,
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, I got a few in there. You might need to follow up with that I just put in. I mean, this one lady emailed that she emailed the rally. She spoke good English, but she asked me if I spoke Spanish, and I said I speak a little bit.
Yeah, we can call it actually. Is that a full phone?
I put her into a Vodio.
Oh, yeah, I did just see it, though. Yeah, I see it.
But yeah, there's a few in there you could buy call it after the day. But yeah, that Harris County has got a bunch of people that speak Spanish.
It does, and then you also notice when you're calling, it's like there's a lot of wrong numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I ran into some
want, you can do it in like one of those colored backgrounds. I know that there's a limit on the words that you can put in there. But you just got to put, does anybody want to sell their house?